Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me tonight for this edition of Growing Your Purium Business. And the topic tonight is going to be the keys to finding motivated brand partners. What we're going to be discussing is the importance and urgency of sharing this opportunity, importance for others, and importance for you, and why it's urgent. I'm going to share the top tips for recruiting motivated brand partners, the how of doing this, and words that work, verbiage. We all love verbiage, right? So you're going to get some really good verbiage and then simple duplication steps at the end. I'm going to have a special treat for you. One of our top leaders, Star Crown Michelle Boersma, is going to be joining me a little later on, and she's going to share some awesome stuff. She is a master at this. So, two things. This is being recorded. The other thing is this deck, this slide deck, will be posted, I believe, on puriumbusiness.com and in the phone app. So you're welcome to take pictures of any of the slides that you'd like, because there's going to be a lot of verbiage slides and things like that. But also you'll have access to this deck after, when this is all done. Okay, so let's share a statistic. And this is part of why it's so important to share this opportunity. 83% of Americans report that financial stress is driven by all the things we know: rising living costs, recession concerns, layoffs, the cost of everything, inflation. And most people, the number one cause of stress that they have in America is financial. It's financial stress. It's causing them to lose sleep. It's affecting their hormones. It's affecting their health. So this is a big problem. And then this is from the American Psychological Association's Stress in America survey. And look at what this shows here. It shows the top causes of stress, the percentages, and what the effects are off to the right. But it's finances, inflation and cost of living, work-related stress. Maybe they're making decent money, but they don't like their job. They have a toxic work environment, whatever it might be, and health concerns. So what do we have the solution to? We have the solution and an opportunity to help people alleviate this type of stress from all of these things. And we have the solution for their health too. And these are tied together. So, the other thing is some people also have a good income, but they don't have the time and the energy to enjoy it. They're on a hamster wheel obtaining that income, right? That's where I was 13 years ago. So what we want to do is think outward and not inward. How can this business help others, and how can it help you to grow? What do you think I mean? Drop it in the chat. What do you think I mean by think outward and not inward? What does that mean to you? And let me see if I can, while I'm screen sharing, if I can see the chat. Okay. So yes, Angie, it's not about us. It's about helping others. That is correct. Anybody else? Think outward, not inward. Lenore, yes. Be others focused. Think about others, not ourselves. Same thing. Provide the solution for those in need. Thank you, Beth. And it's really empathy. Somebody said putting yourself in other situations. And yeah, the bottom line is thinking of others and how this can help others, and getting past any limiting beliefs or fears that we have in doing so. Okay. So Madi, you're right. Same thing. Everybody has that theme. So if you or anybody and it may be a brand new brand partner, you might have heard this. If let's say anyone any brand partners that you're coaching, maybe they have a lack of belief in this business model. If you've ever heard someone say, oh, MLM, there's a stigma with that. I don't want to be that person. Everyone is turned off by MLM. These sweeping statements, I hear them every so often. Find someone who says that, because it's their inner belief and it's their limiting belief. And it's an internal issue. They're projecting because they're not bulletproof in their belief. So we want to help those people. This is all personal development, and it's very important. But the other thing is, when they're projecting it, mirroring can happen, and they risk attracting that. Energy attracts energy. So if you or any brand partner on your team, anybody has any hesitation at all with sharing the business, with having these business conversations, or has said any of those statements, please have them watch the Leslie Zan video. And it's a YouTube video here titled Break Free from Fear and Unlock Your Potential, because it all goes back to fear, fear of judgment, fear of rejection. What are people going to think? All these stories that we can make up in our heads. And our dear Beth Lambert, Green Diamond Beth Lambert, is, if she probably has already done it, but is going to be dropping the link to that video in the chat. Okay. So copy and paste that link, put it in your notes. They need to watch that video stat if they are going to have success and go forward in this business. Thank you, Beth. Okay, so since we're thinking about others, let's reflect on what this business has done for others, for our friends. You're going to see some familiar faces here. Someone shared Purium with them. Someone did not have a fear of sharing it with them. And there's many, many other stories. I'm just picking a few people from my team that you're going to see. But what if they didn't share it with them? What would be the outcome? So first, many of you have heard Ariel's story, just talked about financial stress. That was Ariel, $30,000 in credit card debt. Her interest payments alone were $900 a month. She could not make a dent in that debt. She said yes. She was coachable. She did the work and became debt free in less than a year. And now she's been doing what she loves, her passion, traveling the world and having the resources to do it, having the time, the energy, and the resources to do it. So what if it hadn't been shared with her? She would still be trying to figure it out, probably. She was thinking about filing bankruptcy. And when I met her, she was like down, like kind of depressed about this. She wasn't in a happy, joyful state of mind because of this crushing debt that she had. This is what this business can do for people. And then there's Nicole. We all love Nicole and her story. And she's got her story right here, blessings on top of blessings, and how this has helped her family. And she has a special needs son, and how she's been able to have resources, more resources for those special needs requirements. And the people that I'm showing you, you might be saying to yourself, well, they're all crowns. Well, guess what? When they started, they weren't a crown, and they had not done this business, anything like this before. Actually, Ariel and Nicole had, with very little success in other companies. But they started out just like everybody else, consultant, director, executive, and they kept going, but they were coachable. And then our beautiful Michelle Boersma, who you're going to hear from later, lost her business, her photography business during COVID. A very powerful story. She's been caregiving for a long time, and this business has allowed her to do that. So again, think of what this business does for people. This will help us think outward, not inward. We all know Melissa's story, love it. Probably her favorite part of the story is the 3 years she got to spend of quality time with her mom when her mom got that very scary diagnosis. The last 3 years of her life, because of this business, she was able to spend that time with her. And now, of course, we see on Melissa's Instagram, they're traveling Europe, and they're just having the time of their life, her and Justin, and deservedly so. And then there's me and Doug. So I was one of those people that had a great income, but I had pain points. I didn't have time to enjoy the income. I was working nights and weekends. That's when people want to look at houses. People want you on demand, like 24/7 as a realtor. So I had the income, but couldn't enjoy it. Didn't have the time. And that's not financial freedom. So this is why I'm so grateful and want to pay this forward to so many people. I don't ever want to stop doing this because I know there's so many more people out there that we can help, that need our help. So what's your why? What is the driving motivation for you? Because if you don't know what that is, you need to. If you don't, the first no that you get, the first disappointment you have or distraction that happens, you're going to get completely derailed. So drop in the chat. I'm just curious, those of you who are willing to share, drop in the chat what your why is. And I'm interested to see what some of these are. Okay, financial freedom, financial location dependence, pay my own rent mortgage. That's big. My husband, Jenny says, not having to live on the system. retirement, give people back their health, pay off mortgage. There's so many. Nourishing my marriage, family, building out our farm. I love that, Christina. And let's see, Cami, pay for, maintain the property that we live on. Yeah, you live on that big, beautiful property in New York. So yeah, freedom to do what I want when I want with who I want. Joey, I love that. And that's the best. That's like the gold standard. Not to be struggling with everything. So what I want you all to do, Jackie says, pay my bills, pay off debt, and homeschool my kids. Every month we fill out an action plan worksheet, right? And it has where you write your why, and then you write your list of who you're going to talk to. When you write that why, I want you, besides saying financial freedom or paying off bills or homeschooling my kids, write what that will feel like. And write it in present tense, like it's already happened. But write what that, the emotions tied to it, and really drill down. And same thing with your brand partners. Keep asking them questions. What does that mean to you? How would that feel? If that was happening right now, how do you feel? And that's where you can really drill down to the emotional part of this. And that's really important. Okay, so let's get back to why enrolling is so important. First of all, we can help a lot more people with their health if we have brand partners. I saw a few people in the chat said they want to help humanity, they want to help people get healthier. Well, we can sell ULTs ourselves, but how many can we sell? How many hours in the day do we have? But if we get motivated brand partners, now we've got a whole bunch of ULTs going out to people. We're getting these products out to way more people. Like Dave Sandoval said the other night on the call, he said, when you think of one person, they're not just one person. Don't think of them as one person that you're bringing on board. It's that one person plus how many other people, their network. It's an entire network of people that you're bringing on board. We can help more people achieve that financial freedom and reduce that stress that we're hearing is the number one cause of stress, financial. Customers don't duplicate. Brand partners do. Customers can become your brand partner, though. So you always want to stay in touch with them and bring it up to them. Maybe they haven't thought about it. And this is how you're going to grow your business. This is the only way to grow your business is by tapping into the leverage of this business model by getting brand partners. So again, what's in it for you? Build wealth and residual income, leveraged income, which means eventually you make money while you sleep. You wake up in the morning and you look at your back office and you see orders came in, people hit ranks, financial and time freedom, and do and have the things that are the most important to you. Some of you, again, may be brand new, and when you hear leverage, you may not quite understand what that means as it applies here in this context. So here's a slide that illustrates it. And again, you'll have this slide, you'll have this whole deck. You can show this slide to prospects that you're talking to because they probably don't know what leveraged income is either. I've had so many people ask me, they don't understand what that means. So it's you working maybe 10 hours a week, you're carving out. Most people are building this on the side of something else, a traditional business or a job. So they can carve out 10 hours a week to build this for themselves. But now you get brand partners to join you. Say you get 5 brand partners who also can commit 10 hours a week. Now you're tapping into not just your own 10 hours, but 60 hours of effort that you're tapping into the financial benefit of. Okay, 60 hours of effort rather than your own 10 hours alone. And that is leverage. And this is the most highly leveraged business model that I have ever seen. So now I'm going to share some tips, some top recruiting tips with you. And these are just basic things, but I've got a bunch of them. So first of all, when you're wanting to enroll brand partners, which we all are, have a monthly enrollment goal. Always have a goal. You don't want to just be willy-nilly, like if it happens, it happens. You want to have a goal, write it down, reverse engineer that goal. How many conversations do you have to enroll one brand partner? And then break that down to a daily reach out goal. Okay, participate in every mini marathon that the company offers. You can do your own. We have many team members here that on top of the company mini marathons, they still do their own. They'll do another one in the same month, which is really smart. It's forcing you to have those conversations and work that muscle and get comfortable picking up the phone. It's consistency over intensity. What does that mean? It's doing something daily for your business, not just spurts. So you don't want to do a mini marathon or have, say, you have a great month and take the next month off. That's a big mistake. You want to ride that wave of momentum and keep going. So consistency over intensity is everything. Okay, these are my top three high mileage questions when you're talking about the business to someone, but it's a way before you even talk about the business, it's a way to connect with them, to build rapport with them. And it's a great way to hear what their pain points are. We need to hear that because we want to know what matters to them or what they're dealing with and how we can help them. So the first one is, what got you into doing what you currently do? People love answering that question. And you will get so much intel. That question opens up gold because you're going to find out, let's say it's a massage therapist, you're going to find out why they got into that. They might say, my personal health journey, or they might say, I just always loved helping people. So we know that these are the kind of people we want, right, in our business. But you ask them that and just listen. Just let them talk and talk and talk. The more they talk, the better. And then, what do you love about it? What do you love about what you do? You can even say, I can tell you love what you do. What's your favorite thing about it? And then the biggie. Just curious, what do you find to be most challenging in your work? That's a big one, and that's where you're going to hear the pain points. I was talking recently to a nurse practitioner who started her own practice, and she told me what she loves about it. I love not having to report to someone, this is mine. I love building something for myself. And then I said, what do you find to be, that's awesome. I love that. I agree. I could see why you love that. Then I said, what do you find to be the most challenging? And she's like, I have no time. I have no downtime. I am stretched thin. I'm working 24/7. That's where we can come in and help. Okay. So these three questions, high mileage questions, they will get you so much information where you can now step in and tell people how this can help. Okay, another one is don't prejudge. Don't prejudge anybody. But sometimes we have a tendency to prejudge successful people. Like, well, why would they do this? They're wealthy. They already have a successful business. They have a great job. They have a career. Why would they do this? They have pain points too. Just remember that. Those three questions that on the previous slide, ask them those questions. What do you find most challenging about what you do? They have transferable skills that they can transfer to this business. They have great networks and credibility. And people like that usually are high achievers. They love to achieve and they love to build things. And they're the kind of people that they like hitting the goals. They're the ones that will usually say, and I know you've had people like this, they hit Fast Start Executive and then they're like, okay, what's my next goal? Like they're just so excited to hit goals. These are the people like that liked getting gold stars in school and probably were straight A students and everything. But it's true. And then the money is a byproduct of it. They're really doing it because of they love the achievement, but then the money comes. And that's how they are in everything they do. That's why they're successful. So don't prejudge successful people. Don't ever think they wouldn't have time. They need this to give them more time. We can help them create time. They don't have leverage. Most likely, they don't. So just keep that in mind. These are the people that can really help you build your business. Okay. Also, social media, business focused social media posts, reels, and now we're focusing on carousels. So carousels are getting a lot more traction right now than reels. They're getting more views in most cases. And we have a promo with carousels. So drop in the chat what the promo is. I know you all know, and you're doing some amazing carousel. So what is the carousel promo for this month? That's the hashtag. Yes, Irma, you got it. 50 points for everyone up to 200 points. Exactly. Excellent. Yeah. So those carousels, Instagram is kind of favoring them right now over some other methods or types of posts. And let's see. I saw something here I wanted to say that Madi said. Madi says she asked that question to a the questions we were talking about at Staples, and she said, I love my job, but I don't like to travel. Yeah, she doesn't like to travel for her job. So she got the pain point right there. Excellent, Madi. Good job. Okay, so I'm going to share Beth Lambert, again, my beautiful assistant tonight. She's going to drop this link right here, the first link to a carousel. And this is a template link that you can edit. And this was my post on Instagram, but what Beth is dropping in there is you can edit it and it's not going to affect my original. Okay. So you can all take that link and edit it, make it your own, put your own picture, put your own videos in there, whatever you want to do. You'll see when you go through it, you'll see what all the slides are. It's just a framework. So you want, again, you want to make it your own, but this is an easy one. It's a reflection back, a look back on 2025. And the key is to incorporate how Purium improved your life, enhanced your life, helped you, whether it was with your health or financially. Okay, so that's what you want to weave in there. And you'll see when you look at it, I've got stuff from Diamond Club and those like the highlights of 2025. And then I got some personal things in there too, like my wedding anniversary and that kind of thing. Okay, so Beth, thank you for, I'm sure you've already dropped it. Okay, thank you, Beth. You're awesome. She's so on it. Okay, and then the next one, I don't have a picture of it here. Let me go back here real quick. The next one is about financial stress. It's about financial stress and how it affects our health. And it's got some stories in there, some testimonials similar to the ones you saw tonight. So you're going to put your own, whatever you want to put in there as testimonials. You can use my story if you want. You know, maybe you know some realtors and you want them to see that, the story of a realtor and what happened. She was stressed out all the time. So feel free. But this, thank you, Beth. So that's the financial stress carousel link. And then you put your picture on the first slide or whatever you want to put on the first slide, and then you just continue through. You'll see the first several slides are really good. And I'm going to tell you, they're, I'm not tooting my own horn, but they're 95% me and 5% chat GPT. Okay. So it doesn't sound chat GPT-ish, I don't think, but it's like it talks about stress and how money and financial stress is the number one stressor that most people have in this country and how it affects our health and cortisol and our sleep and all those things. And then it leads into these stories. And then at the end, call to action about the business. Okay. So thank you again, Beth, for sharing that. And that's another editable template link that you can use and edit it any way you want. Okay, since we're talking about social media, we're going to hear from a top leader in our company and a master mentor, two-star crown, Michelle Boersma, and she has a great story to share about what one of her team members that she's been mentoring did on her social media, new brand partner. Welcome, Michelle.
Thank you, Sonia. Yes, so a new brand partner of mine, she's been with me now for just a couple of months. I'm going to call her out. Her name is Jenny. I see her beautiful face on here. She is a full-time caregiver. She has a family member that is on hospice, and she has a very challenging everyday situation. She's homebound. She cannot leave the house, the situation. It's not like she can just go to an event or set up a table. So her circumstance, what is she going to do? November was a little bit of a rough month. So we got together, we talked about it. She picks up the phone and calls people, first of all. And and she also talks to the nurses that come to the house. And I was mentioning to her that I started this business during COVID, during full lockdown, and there was no going anywhere. So she came up with the idea of having a challenge herself. She challenged herself to a 20-day challenge, posting every single day on her Facebook, sharing her superfood journey, sharing her business, sharing what this has done in her life and what's happened. Well, just in the last 2 weeks, she's got two brand partners, two people, well, lots of responses, but two actually became brand partners and enrolled. One she's never met before. The other one she knew some years ago when she was a younger girl. So the power of social media, and that one that just signed up 5 days ago, she's going to be hitting Fast Start Director after this call tonight within 5 days. So never underestimate what can happen when you stop waiting for life to get easier and just start sharing consistently.
That is the point right there, Michelle. Never stop waiting to share for life to get easier because life is always going to be happening. Life is always, there's always going to be distractions. There's always going to be things happening. There's never going to be a perfect time. And kudos to Jenny. Great job, Jenny. That is amazing. And she's about to break a fast start director in 5 days because of what she did. She was resourceful and she had an amazing mentor in Michelle and she was coachable. And Michelle, I love how you shared your story with her because that had to be very emboldening and empowering for her when you said, "Hey, I built this during total lockdown." So that was something that you could help her relate to. Like, if I could do it on total lockdown, you can do this, Jenny. So that's beautiful. Thank you so much. Michelle's going to come back again with another amazing story. And these stories are teaching moments you're going to love. Drop in the chat and anything else that you took away from that. Thinking outward. Absolutely. Love that. No excuses. Yeah. And consistency, because she did it every day. Looking at what you can do, not dwelling on her own circumstances, and then doing it. Looking at what you can do and then doing it, Tammy said. Challenge yourself. Oh, and Danielle says, I can do it too. I'm a caregiver. I'm a caregiver too, showing up. So see, Gabrielle, that's inspiring to you, right? Now you've learned something that you could do if you haven't already been doing that. Love the entire story, inspirational for sure. Talking on the phone, love that, Sharon. Excellent. That's so important. And finding people who are hungry, willing, and coachable. Yeah, absolutely. So many great comments here, but we got to move on because we have a lot more to cover. So thank you, Michelle, and we'll see you back here in just a couple of minutes. Okay. Follow up is crucial. Why? Because people are busy and this right now, what we're talking to them and us, we are not the center of their universe right now. They've got all kinds of life things going on. They've got family, they've got jobs, they've got all this stuff. They're interested, but we have to gently remind them and follow up with them. So always remember, it's our job to follow up with them, not their job to follow up with us. I'm talking to a doctor who said he's interested, but it was right before Thanksgiving. And he's like, well, I'm going to be traveling, but get back to me right after that. But yeah, I want to do this. And I called him several times before the call where he picked up the phone. And then he said, hi, Sonia. Thank you. Thank you for following up with me. And then, after Thanksgiving, did I get a hold of him? No, because he's still busy and he works in an emergency room and has his own practice. So I just some of these take longer. Some of these take longer than others, but you have to be impeccable with your follow-up. Keep track, write down when you talk to him, what you said, and if at all possible, always set up the next call before you hang up the phone with them. It's an average in this industry, average of 7 exposures before someone signs up. So keep that in mind. That means some people could be 20, some could be 3, but it's an average of 7. So follow up is extremely crucial. And like Michelle said, pick up the phone. People want to hear your voice. Phone calls are an anomaly right now. They're like an endangered species, phone calls. Nobody's getting them, nobody's making them. And the only calls I get say scam likely, usually, and I don't answer those. But if somebody sees a phone call that doesn't say scam likely, and maybe they know your number and they know it's you, they're going to answer. They love that personal connection because there is no personal connection. Everybody's texting now. So picking up the phone, they can hear your excitement, your enthusiasm. They can hear, your passion in your voice that they're not going to pick up on a text. Oh, and okay, Michelle, you're back already. So Michelle is truly a master at conversations wherever she's at. Purium is always top of mind. So share your latest story with us, Michelle.
Okay, this was just last week. I was at a breast ultrasound appointment. And you could be thinking, I'm busy. I got a lot to do. I've got to just get this done. use every place an opportunity to connect with people. This stenographer walked in, she immediately just lit up the room. Big smile, bright eyes, she had a warm presence. So I started asking her questions about the procedure, about her job. And then I asked her, "Can I just interview you?" And she was like, "Yeah, but why?" And so I told her because I share my organic superfood lifestyle on social media and healthy living tips and my business. And your energy is spectacular and your knowledge, so I think others could benefit. So she agreed. We did the interview. She did fantastic. And I just stayed curious. So I complimented her on the interview. I'm like, "You did so good. You're so good at this with people." I asked her, "What brought you to this job? Why did you get started in this? What do you love about it?" And then I asked her, "What is not so good? What's the challenge for you?" And that's when she really opened up. And she mentioned, "I'm commuting. I'm going from San Diego to Orange County to the desert. My mother now has Alzheimer's. My husband passed away young." So it was just incredible how she opened up. So that opened the door for deeper conversation. We talked about the business. She filled out my lead capture right then and there. She said, "I really think this could be an answer to my prayers." And then it had a ripple effect because the next patient had come in and she was listening. So then she said, "Hey, well, can I connect too?" So she also filled out my lead capture. Now we're in touch with each other. I've scheduled a lunch with the sonographer. So just the lesson is don't wait for life to slow down to build your business. It's not going to happen. Stay open, stay connected to everybody, show personal interest, stay human, use every opportunity to connect and share this gift. Conversations change lives, sometimes starting in the most unexpected places.
Thank you so much for that, Michelle. That was beautiful. So many golden nuggets there. Everybody, drop your takeaways from what Michelle just shared in the chat. What were some of the things that she did that you're thinking, wow, that just reinforces everything we're talking about? And I'm going to do that more. Stay open to conversations anywhere. Tammy says, get out and talk to people. She gave a sincere compliment to her, asked her questions. She was curious. See, I keep seeing questions. That's really good. She listened. She asked questions, showed personal interest, filled out the lead capture, interviewed her, and Michelle, and she got her pain points because she asked those three questions, the three high mileage questions. What got you into what you're doing? What do you love about it? What do you find most challenging? And the most challenging, that third question just kind of opened up the floodgates. And Michelle, you've been a caregiver. She's a caregiver. Now the two of you related on a whole other level. Like the rapport and the connection just got deeper at that point. Go ahead. Were you gonna say something?
I wanted to just say at the end it was beautiful because she wrapped her arms around me and we hugged each other so big. She felt people don't remember what you say, they remember how you make them feel. So just it's making connections and showing that personal interest.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Michelle. That is amazing. And you do this all the time. And she keeps it top of mind all the time. So how do you all feel about doing this? Do you do it? Do you want to do more of it? You know how sometimes somebody will say, I don't know anybody. I've talked to everybody. I don't have anybody to talk to. I exhausted my entire list. No, you didn't. Because you're always going to, if you're interacting with people, you've got opportunities. So John and Shelley say, need to do more. Love that. Love that you recognize that. And Lori says, I do it and I want to do more. And yeah, this is great. Need to do more. Oh my gosh, these are going so fast. I can't keep up with them. But yeah, recognize the opportunities. Need to stop being afraid and just do it. Yes. Remember, think outward, not inward. This person said to Michelle, this could be an answer to a prayer. Okay. Just like Purium was for Michelle when she found out about it. She lost her business when COVID happened. If you don't know Michelle's story, everything shut down and her business was gone overnight, wedding photographer. I don't get out often because of caregiver, do more phone calls. Love that, Jessica. And you could do what Jenny did on social media. Sherry, don't assume they don't want to. I love that. We don't decide for them. We want to, like Michelle always says, we want to dignify them with the opportunity. Okay, great. Great job. And thank you again, Michelle. That was awesome. What a master class at having a conversation when you're out and about. And those three questions. What are the three questions again? Drop them in the chat. The three high mileage questions. Who remembers? One, two, and three. How did you get started doing what you do? What do you love about it? What do you find most challenging? Okay, don't forget those. You'll have the deck where the questions are there. Okay, so more conversations, just like what Michelle did, keeping Purium top of mind, conversations on the mini marathon. Don't ever underestimate the mini marathons. Do them. Every time you have that opportunity, do them. And that will fuel your conversations and your confidence in having them. But also, like Michelle does, and we all do when we're out and about, we talk to people and we take genuine interest in them. Okay, now I'm going to share a bunch of pain points that this business can help people with. And you know people like this. You already know people like this, okay? You know a massage therapist, you know a chiropractor, all of us do. So, attrition is a pain point. When I've had a massage therapist say this to me, because I said, "Man, I want to refer people to you, but you're probably so busy already. You probably can't even take any more clients." You know what she said? No, that's not true, actually. Once they start feeling better, they stop coming to me. And they're trading time for money too. So there's no exit plan with a recurring residual income. Okay. It could be massage therapist, chiropractor, acupuncturist, any kind of health practitioner, hairdresser. If they're not behind the chair, they're not getting paid. Kelly Rissen's a hairdresser on our team. She always says that. If I'm not behind the chair, I'm not getting paid. Their feet hurt from standing all day. They're trading time for money. I guarantee you, you ask a hairdresser, how'd you get into this? What do you love? What's most challenging? You're going to hear some of these things, these exact pain points. And how about a personal trainer? Clients canceled, I didn't get paid. I had clients lined up, I didn't get paid. People always ask me for nutrition advice, and I send them to Whole Foods and Amazon. They're not getting paid anything for doing that. So that's where we can step in and help them. Okay, so here are the words that work in these three scenarios that I just gave you. You know what? You may want to take a look at what I'm doing with my nutrition business. It could be a great resource for your clients and bring an additional income for you. Not to mention, it's highly leveraged. So you make money even when you're not able to work or when your clients cancel. Do you know what leveraged income is? No. What does that mean? And then you go from there. You pause when you say this, you want to pause because they're processing. So even if the pause feels awkward, embrace the pause, embrace the awkward pause. They're thinking. You got to give them time to digest it and not jump in and say something because it feels awkward. Okay, how about a corporate job? Pain points. Confined to an office, long daily commute, maybe like Madi said with the woman at Staples, travel for their work and they're tired of that. Once location freedom, once a location independent business, has to wait to get an annual review and then hope that they get a raise to increase their income and a big enough of a raise to make a difference. Okay. Those are some common pain points of people that work a corporate job. So in this scenario, words at work, something similar. You're already talking to them. They're sharing all this with you. They know what you do, or they've asked you, what do you do? How did you get into it? They're asking you some questions. And then you could say, have you ever thought about doing what I do? It's a great way to create an income stream in part-time hours. You can easily do this alongside your main job because of the leverage aspect. It's very highly leveraged. And it's a way to give yourself a raise and build something for yourself. That's what I've been able to do. Or if you don't have that story, you can say, that's what my friend did. That's what my friend's been able to do. She was working a corporate job and she was so tired of the corporate politics and building someone else's dream, working for someone else's dream. So leverage stories, any stories that you have, your own or other team members that you know. But you want to use that word leverage because they're either going to ask you what that means or they're going to look at you kind of puzzled and then you say, "Do you know what that means, leverage?" Because I didn't. You can say to them, "I didn't know what it meant when I first heard it." So you want to kind of do a little feel, felt, found with them. Don't make them feel like we don't want them to feel stupid or anything. So if they're like, "No, I don't really know." Yeah, same. I didn't know what it meant either till I got into this and learned, and it's brilliant. Okay, another one. These are common empty nesters. And this is something someone said to me. My husband wants me to get out of the grind. She still works a corporate job. He wants me to get out of the grind so we can travel more now that the kids are off in college, but I still want to be productive. And I still want to, and I would like to have the freedom to travel and do what we want when we want. This was a real life conversation. So, in this scenario, again, these are all very similar. Have you ever thought about doing what I do? It's a great way to create an income stream in part-time hours. You can do it from anywhere. You can work when and where you want, not to mention having leverage. So you make money even when you're not working, just like I've been able to do. Oh, really? Tell me more. Okay, really simple. They're not that much different, but they're slightly different for each circumstance. And then here's some more verbiage that you can use. And you'll get this slide or you could take a picture. But, maybe you're talking to a customer. There's also a business opportunity here, maybe something you might want to take a look at. The opportunity, this is the one with the slight takeaway. The opportunity may or may not be for you, but you probably know someone who could really benefit from it. So you're kind of like, no pressure, may or may not be for you, but I bet you know someone who could benefit from it. Who could you think of? But then they might be like, well, wait, me. Okay, you're one of the compliment. You're one of the sharpest people I know. What are your thoughts on diversifying your income? Is that something you've ever thought about? That's a good one because people need to think about keeping all their eggs in one basket or diversifying because they could get laid off of their job at any time. Anything could happen like that. So, again, conversations are the key. Key points: give sincere compliments, ask questions, be curious, be interested, draw them out, listen for the pain points, ask the three high mileage questions. The golden nuggets happen when they're talking and we're listening, not when we're talking. We want to talk less and them talk more. Acknowledge on social media when someone follows you or comments on your social media, start a conversation. "Hey, thank you so much for following me. I'm just curious. How did you find my account?" And then they'll tell you and get in that conversation, establish rapport, and then try to get offline on the phone as soon as possible. Conversations, the most impactful are the ones on the phone or in person. And again, listening. I always say, this is my own quote I made up, but it's true. The close happens when the prospect is talking, not when we're talking. Why? Because that's when you're going to hear not only the pain points that we have the solution for, but you're also going to hear the buy signals. You want to listen for those buy signals, which I'm going to show you, I think, on the next slide. And don't sell past the close. And I'll explain that when we get there too. Okay, listen for the buy signals. You're on the phone now, or you're in person. Now they're interested. You've had maybe a couple conversations, a couple exposures already, and they start asking questions like, "So how does the training work in this business? Is there training? How do I make the bonuses that you mentioned? How do I make money with this?" These are all buy signals. They're interested enough to that point that now they want to know, "Hey, how am I going to get paid? How's the training?" Answer all the questions. Just keep answering their questions and then say, "What other questions do you have?" They're either going to say, "None. I think you've covered it all." Then you can say, "Great. Let's go ahead and get you started. You'll be able to start making money right away. I can get you set up right now." Or they might say, "None, no other questions. How do I get started?" And then you just say, "We're going to do that right now. What's your shipping address?" Go right into it. Do they need more info? Are they saying, "Well, if they're not ready right now, they're going to say, 'Well, I'm not sure. Let me talk to my husband,' or 'I don't know. Can you send me more information first?'" Then you just say, "Yeah, what other information do you need that can help you?" You can also ask them, and this is a Leslie thing, on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you at as far as being ready to dive into this? They'll tell you. So, what other information do you need to get all the way to attend? And they will tell you. And I like to say, how do you like to consume information? Do you like reading? Do you like video? And ask them a couple more questions and send them what it is they want. You want to pinpoint. You don't want to leave it open-ended because you want to give them what they want, what they say they want, because then you're going to set up the follow-up before you get off the phone. You're going to say, okay, great. I'll send you a video and I'll send you the website so you could read about it. And let's do this. When do you think you'll be able to look at that? What I'm going to send you? They're going to tell you, okay, great. Let's do this. Let's set up a time now to circle back. And that way I can answer any questions that you have from what I'm going to send you. Sound good? Yes. Okay. How's this time or this time? Give the two times, the alternate close. Their brain's going to go directly to picking a time. And then you set that up. This way you're not chasing them for the follow-up. Does that make sense? Okay, now we're going to talk a little bit about duplication. I'm not going to go too deep into this. Next week is going to be kind of a part two of this with Melissa, and she's going to go deeper into duplication, getting brand partners hitting their fast start bonuses. She's so good at that. So, but I'm going to share a couple key concepts with you. First of all, early success reinforcement, super important. As you can see here, what it says, there's a 300% higher chance of a brand partner staying active beyond 90 days if they earn a check within their first 30 days. We know people are getting checks the very next week, right? Because we have them teed up we tell them about UBT and lining three up and doing a launch Zoom and all of that. But not everybody does. So we want to make sure they get a check within that first 30 days, no matter what it is. My first check was from Purium. I can't remember exactly. It was like $18 or $32. Those two numbers stick out of my mind. It was not more than $32. We didn't have the fast start bonuses like we have now, but that was my first check and it came as a paper check. And I was making great money as a realtor, but this little check came and it was cool. I was like, back then you could buy a lunch with $18 if that, or whatever. You could probably fill up your car with gas 13 years ago with that. But it was kind of exciting to me. It's like, hey, this is kind of like found money. So that's really important. So how do we get them there? Coach by phone as much as possible. I'm not saying every single interaction has to be over the phone when you're coaching someone. You are going to send texts. I never do email because I think emails get buried. Mine do. So that's probably why I think that way. But as much as possible, coach on the phone. And again, it doesn't have to be every single time because nobody has all that time, but as much as you can. If you have a new brand partner, try to talk to them on the phone at least once or twice a week. Okay, that's one thing. And then keep it simple. We don't want to overwhelm them. We've got a lot of information. We've got a lot of promos. We've got a great compensation plan. They don't need to know the whole compensation plan. It's going to make their head explode. Just talk about fast start bonuses, their first, getting to director. That's the key, the foundational rank. Action plan worksheet, go over it with them. Make sure they're very detailed on their why. Go through their list, help them with initial verbiage to reach out. Emphasize the importance of the tools we have. Connect calls with your upline mentor. UBT, the rhythm of three, what that is, the Purium week, Saturday to Friday. Schedule a launch Zoom right away so they can get this out to their friends and family and make sure they're staying plugged into the training calls. Those are so important. That's where they're really going to learn and kind of get their batteries charged up every week. Team calls, Purium corporate calls like this one. Emphasis on fast start. Why go fast? Pace duplicates. If a brand partner goes slow, what's going to duplicate? Slowness. If they go fast, quickness is going to duplicate. Their brand partners that they bring on are going to repeat that. First fast start consultant, 3 ULTs in their first 10 days, they're going to be there. But we want to really focus on director. So this is something you can use anytime it's the three different scenarios, the three easiest ways for someone to get to Fast Start Director at a glance. Scenario one, two, and three. Okay. My favorite one is scenario one. Well, actually, probably one and three. Because scenario one, I actually like a combination of one and three together. Scenario one is two customers of one brand partner, and then help that brand partner get three. Because now they're already thinking brand partners, not just getting customers. Scenario three is transformation now, and then just get three local people in a week and submit the pictures of the boxes. How easy is that? They're going to make a $400 bonus just like that. Scenario two is they get three in one week, three in another week, in a Purium week. And then they help two brand partners do any of the three above. Two brand partners get to director and get three new ULTs hit UBT themselves in a Purium week, and they've hit Fast Start Executive. So you can always refer back to this and you can show a lot of people, most people are visual. They need a visual guide. If you say all this to them, again, it's going to be like information overload. Okay. Someone asked me a while ago, and I'm pretty sure it was Michelle Boersma, said, I think it was you, Michelle, said, what are your top three? She was already a crown, but she's like asking me, like we're sharing information and tips and everything. What are your top three tips to get to crown? I said, my top three tips are enroll, enroll, and enroll. Those are my top three tips if you want to get to crown. Why? Because not everybody's going to go the distance. This is a sifting and sorting process. It's a numbers game. Those people are out there. The people that will go the distance, that are motivated, they love achieving, they're goal oriented, they're passionate, they love helping people, they have a big why, and they will persevere through everything. They won't let distractions derail them. They're out there. But you have to talk to a lot of people to find those people. You will find the people that want to just get their products paid for. That's great. That's a beautiful thing. That's retention. They're going to stick around forever, but they may not go real far in your business. You're going to find the people that hit a couple fast start bonuses and then they fizzle. They fade away. It happens. So you've got to have, like we said, a lot of conversations, and you want to enroll, enroll, enroll. And that exponentially increases your chances of getting to crown yourself. All those stories that I shared, all the crowns in those stories, what this business has done for them, the common denominators that they all had were a big why, totally coachable, no limiting beliefs, or if they had a limiting belief, they did the work, they did the personal development to overcome it, a very high belief in the products, excuse me, in the business model, and they trusted the proven system and determination. If I were to say one word, the overarching is always determination. Push through discouragements, distractions, and disappointments because they were determined. And that is the thing that I can say about every one of those people. Michelle is one of them. Michelle has built this business through so many caregiving situations, long-term caregiving, health emergencies with family, so many times. And she's still here. She didn't let that distract her and just quit. And you are such an excellent example, Michelle. You really are. You're such a heart-centered leader, and you're such a great example of leading by example and doing all those things and continuing to prospect and recruit and enroll people. And that's what we want to keep doing because, like I said in the beginning, there's so many people out there that need what we have. We can alleviate that financial stress, whatever, whether it's financial or health or quality of life or, toxic work environment, whatever that may be. So we have a few minutes left, and I'm going to, let's see, I think that is the last slide. I'm going to stop the share and look at the chat, but I would love to see or hear, we have 6 minutes left, your top takeaways. if you want to either write them in the chat or raise your hand and actually speak what your top takeaways were from this call. Okay, there's a bunch of them coming in. And oh, Shelley, did you want to speak yours? Or Tammy? Okay, go ahead, Tammy. And then I'm going to read some of the chat ones.
My top takeaway is ask questions, show personal interest, and never let life get in the way. Focus on what you can do, not on what you can't do. And follow the example of everyone that is successful in this business. Use it as inspiration.
Excellent. And that Jenny story was just so powerful that Michelle shared. The perfect example of that. And Tammy, you're a perfect example of that. You're a Black Diamond leader in our company, and you are always walking your talk. So thank you. And Shelley, go ahead. Quick one, Shelley.
Well, I liked them all, but don't prejudge successful people. I think I've done that in the past, and that will never happen again.
Okay, good. They may end up being your best brand partners, and they know a lot of other people like that. You know, birds of a feather flock together. So, okay, anybody else, if you want to raise your hand, but I'm gonna go through the chat first. So, Janice, be consistent. Yes, good job, Janice. Consistency over intensity. Talk at all times, Yesenia. And I think she means have conversations all the time. Angie says consistency and determination. Don't give up, perseverance, Talisha. Gabrielle, duplicate this. Yes. Cynthia Wilson, professionals need this biz too. Absolutely. Same thing, like what Shelley said. Think outward, not inward. Angie, great takeaway. And Christina, help them make their first check ASAP. That's a big one. That's a really big one. And Greg says the wording of approaching someone when taking an opportunity to introduce a business. I'm glad the verbiage was helpful. Jade says I get to find my determination after a very challenging year. Joey, determination to grow the business. Find those that are determined with a big why. Absolutely. And staying open and interested in others, says Lonnie. Alma says, grow my business. I need to talk to more people and show interest. Enroll, enroll, enroll. Yes. Gabrielle says, keep on playing this. So much gold. Be determined. Thank you. Janice, be interested, not interesting. Yes. Lenore, stop waiting for life to get easier. Yeah, that's huge because there always will be something. True grit from Beth. Never give up. Consistency over intensity. And grit, Beth, you have shown grit for sure. So many good ones here. Start conversations is key. Interview your medical people. Gleneth, yeah. Questions and compliments. Learn to use lead capture to do when one shows interest, like Michelle did. And Madi, start conversations are the key. Xenia, heartfelt helpers, complimenting, questioning, listening with heart. Yeah. Connecting. That's how we would connect with people. Enroll, 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 Madi. So, yeah. Thank you guys so much. Great takeaways. And Michelle says, never underestimate what can happen when you stop waiting for life to be easier. Share consistently. That literally should be a quote that we have like on a phone wallpaper or whatever it's called. Nakia, use your life situations to your advantage. And like Jenny did, she talks to the people. She's homebound with caregiving, but she talks to the nurses that come in. And Brittany, always be open to every opportunity. 100%, Brittany. Excellent. Great job. Well, thank you guys so much. First, thank you, Michelle, for your wonderful shares and your example, because these are real life examples of what you do on the daily. So thank you. And that's what you are modeling for your team all the time. And that's why they're duplicating that way. And I want to thank Beth Lambert also for being such an ace. And she just dropped everything in here again. Thank you, Beth. She's got the Leslie Zoom link, the two Canva templates all in one. So grab those right away. If you can't grab copy, just click those and copy and paste those. Okay. And let's get some last ones here. Have good energy and you'll attract good energy. Absolutely, Angie. And Lonnie, thank you. Thank you, Brittany. Thank you, Alma. All right. Thank you all so much. And thank you for being here tonight. I know it's a busy week for a lot of people, and I sincerely appreciate you being here to learn more on how to grow your business. It'll be worth it, trust me. So thanks, everybody. Have a great evening.